Okay, we'll try this again, guys. My computer just randomly restarted. I'll be back. Alright. I am back. I got a little hungry too. So want to get me some pizza rolls. Oh. Thank you, Sender. Is that a new account? Okay. What happened to your other account? Ah. Any reason why? Hmm. Ah. That might be why too. I hope she's okay. I have blood pressure problems and so does my dad.
There was a time when you could hardly lift the heavy hammer. Now you barely notice
Good.
it anymore, and it feels like an extension of your arm. Smithing is in your blood. This is where you swung the forge hammer for the first time 30 cycles ago. No one taught you the craft. It was enough for you to watch Lot Yonan's old...
I assume cycles is years.
Whenever the workshop was empty, you practiced and
Thank you guys so much for sticking it out and hanging out with me. Oh, and Sender, thanks for following me on that account.
There are apparently dwarves who have never seen the sky. And you too feel more comfortable when you have rock over your head. If only you didn't long to see more of the world, a longing that grows stronger with every year.
Oh, yes, no, I agree with you. Alrighty.
Everything you know about dwarves you learnt from books. The divine smith created the dwarves, and from time to time you make him an offering of some crumbs of gold. It's the most valuable thing you have to offer Vracus. Everything you know about dwarves you learnt from books. The divine smith created the dwarves, and from time to time you make him an offering of some crumbs of gold.
Hey, what's up, Dapper?
It's the most valuable thing you have to offer Vracus.
Guys, make sure you toss Dapper a follow. She is my IRL bestie. I don't know.
You worked a bit more on Sunya's birthday present last
You
night.
alright?
There'll be a spot where he'll talk, so you'll be able to hear that. And then you can tell me, because I'm so used to talking to you that I don't pick up on, I don't pick up on accents that well. Alright.
Hey, groundling! Come to the kitchen, we need you.
Jolison, a 4th degree famulus and your favorite foe among the students of magic, gives you a disparaging glance.
Whoops.
Tangdale! Quick! Or the goulash will get burnt!
You immediately recognize what the problem is. A chain running over a pulley for positioning the cauldron is detached from its mounting, and the cauldron...
Wait, y'all can't hear what they're saying?
It's a heavy load, and none of the famuli, who feel superior even during kitchen duty...
Hang on. Alright, give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and raise this up. Another. Alright, let me know if that's better when they talk.
It'd be a waste of goulash. And I'm hungry. Here, hold this.
That's my dwarf talking. Did y'all hear that better this time? Okay. What's up, Dapper? So, is that better for y'all? Is that why you were asking? Alright, guys, so I know I already did the poll earlier, but since I have new people checking it out, I'll go ahead and reissue this poll. Alright, so what to do? Alright, we have the choices of talking to the families, examine mounting bracket, or repairing bracket. So go ahead and make your choices on what we should do. I've issued a poll here. Oh, up in the upper right here, like, up, it should say, like, poll. And if you click on that, it gives you the option. Missouri might be able to explain it better than me. I'm really bad at explaining it. But I know up at the top of the Twitch chat, you should be given, it should say current poll. You click on that and expand it, and then you can choose which option. Awesome. Okay, so everyone's chosen to repair the mounting bracket. We will go with that one.
You damned freak!
For a moment, you hope the famulus really does raise his hand to you. But then he comes to his senses and leaves the kitchen, his face bright red.
What a pair you are!
Alright. Let's go look at the baby.
I am your godfather, little one. I'll look after you just like I looked after your mother.
Little Akana grasps your calloused finger and smiles at you wide-eyed.
So, I wonder where it came out that all the, like, I don't know.
Is bubbling in the cauldron.
You said, like, a lot of dwarves tend to be Scottish.
And the smell makes your mouth start watering.
I wonder what prompted that.
Vegetables, bread, cheese, but the cook is not to be trifled with. Many painful knuckles have taught you that she knows how to handle her heavy wooden spoon.
I still have that poll up, Dapper.
Have eyes in the back of her head.
Do you know what Lord Yonan wants?
The maid gives you an amused look. She has often accused you of making things more complicated than necessary. The beer that is delivered to the vaults is supposed to be the best beer in Idderslane. It's certainly your favorite beer, but you haven't drunk enough other beers to truly know.
We have a visitor.
blacksmith. Do you want something?
Did a horse bolt while you were trying to shoe it?
I tried to
Certainly
steal
not on
their
our
food.
plates.
Hey, what are you doing, groundling? We're still eating here. Why don't you go and get your own portion?
Lot Yonan's vaults are equipped with laboratories, a library, and private rooms for the famuli. Together with the forge, the kitchen, and the other utility rooms, it makes up quite an impressive complex. But compared to the courts of the other magi, the seat of power in Yonandar is small and modest.
Okay. Hi. Hey, why are you giving me attitude?
Master Lot Yonan, Frala told me you wish to speak with me.
Ah, Tungdil, come in. There is a bag over there in the cupboard. Take it out, please. It contains artifacts belonging to my former famulus Goren. I wish to return them to him. He's in Blacksaddle, 300 miles away.
300 miles? That's a long journey. Who are you going to entrust with this?
I was thinking of you.
Me?
There is no one better to take on this journey. You have acquired much knowledge. You are almost a scholar. You know more than most famuli about Girdlegard and its inhabitants. It is time for you to go out into the world and see it with your own eyes.
With pleasure.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and issue a poll. Find out what we should do. Okay. So, should we ask him what's in the pouch? Say we'll meet other dwarves? Or set off soon? Alright, so we're gonna ask him what's in the pouch.
Magical devices. You better leave the bag closed if you want to avoid any accidents. Dwarves don't really like magic, and magic doesn't like you either.
Rakus gave us so much craftsmanship that there's no space left in our bodies for magic.
Strictly speaking, every time you've been too close to magic, it has ended in catastrophe.
Alright, okay. Go ahead and do another poll. Okay. Meet others or set off. Huh. Alright, so we'll meet others.
Perhaps
Maybe.
I'll meet some dwarves on my travels.
Yes, perhaps, but don't hold out too much hope, and be
Oh,
careful.
thank you
who
for
talk
contributing
to.
channel
Not
points
everyone out
to
there
that
likes
poll
dwarves.
to Dapper.
Yeah, goblins. They abduct baby dwarves and sell them to magi, from what I've heard.
Not the best bit of business I've ever done. But what was I to do? The Longnoses threatened to throw you into the nearest river.
Aww.
Be on your guard. Look after the bag and don't lose it. May Palandiel be with you. And Varakas too, of course.
I'll set off immediately. I'll see you soon, Lot Yonan.
Mind the mission goals. Frontal attack isn't always the best solution to reach your goals. Mm.
It would be better to leave Lot Yonan to his work for now. You've already been given an assignment and you should leave as soon as possible. After all, you don't want him thinking you're homesick before...
Alright. So we should probably go back here.
Hello, Frala.
Hmm?
Alright, so new poll. This one right here, do we tell her that we need provisions since we're traveling, or give her a present? Alright, present. Let's get a
I've got
present for you.
You take out a symbol of protection that you've carefully made from 3 horseshoe nails.
It's not the finest jewellery in Girdlegard.
One look at Frala's face makes it clear that it doesn't matter. She glows with happiness as she takes the pendant.
For me? But why?
Because you don't see me as an oddity, and you're like a little sister to me.
You could have said, but you settle with a shrug and a crooked smile.
Alright, I need provisions.
for 300 miles.
You're grinning from ear to ear. Finally, you've got the chance to see something of the world.
300? Tungdil, that's no errand. That's an epic journey. Wait, I've got just the right thing. But make sure the cook doesn't see.
I'm going to Blacksaddle to return a few things to a former apprentice in the Magus.
You pocket the rye bread, sausages, and ham. Enough food for the first few days of your journey.
Perhaps I'll even meet some dwarves.
Frala throws you a cautious glance. It's a
I just
tricky
went ahead and
subject,
chose
but you
that
can't
one
help but
because we
flinch.
did that one earlier.
Aren't dwarves down here? You're the only one in Idaslane as far as we know.
I know, but I can't just have been born out of a rock. Somewhere in the mountains, I have a clan. Maybe even a family.
Yes. Maybe.
Frala has reminded you more than once that Lot Yonan wrote to the dwarf clans and none of them were missing a dwarf boy.
I have to go. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
I wish you the blessing of Palandial and Vracus to protect you from all danger on your journey. Here, a talisman. Whenever you look at it, think of me.
Frala winks at you mischievously.
And of getting me a nice present.
Alright, cool. So we have provisions.
The goulash is bubbling in the cold.
Oh. Alright.
How nice to see you again, Lot Yonan. It must have been an age since we last met face to face.
Nudin, welcome. Please, sit down.
No, thank you, my friend. These are urgent matters, and I don't have much time. You must come to Leos Nudin immediately. The perished land is stirring.
Are you sure? What makes you think that?
I found out about 60 orbits ago, during a visit to the borders. Our magical barriers have weakened and become porous. The Elfar have left their land, and a huge horde of orcs have marched into Girdlegard.
Were you able to strengthen the spell with your magic?
No, I can't repair the damage alone. We need the combined power of the 6. The other 4 are already on their way here, but we need your help too.
I will set off for Parista without delay.
Oh, and as you're coming, could you also take the opportunity to bring back the things that I lent to you?
Of course. I have them already packed in a bag.
Oh no.
Thank you. We'll be expecting you.
I have a feeling I took the wrong bag.
Utterly blinded by the sunlight, you squeeze your eyes tightly shut after only a few steps. The time spent underground has made you so sensitive to light that you're forced to seek shelter in the shade of a mighty oak. You reach a small lake by a birchwood. Your feet hurt and your eyes still sting in the unaccustomed sunlight, but a smile spreads across your face nonetheless. You've covered a decent distance on the first day of your big journey. You pitch your camp and lie down to sleep on the hard forest floor. When you awake in the morning, your legs are stiff and achy. Trying not to feel sorry for yourself, you throw your rucksack over your shoulder. You're a dwarf, and dwarves don't complain.
Alright, so which side should I go? Should I go this way or this way? Well, right or left? Oh, I can't alt-tab to do a poll, guys, so... I wonder what this question mark up there is, so we'll go up this way.
Around midday, with the sun high in the sky and the first beads of sweat appearing on your forehead, you see something move next to the road, a few hundred meters ahead. Some crows are pecking at something in the long grass. When you see the blood on the ground, you try to convince yourself it's from an animal that just happened to be killed on the road by a hunter. You know this is improbable, and your hope disappears completely when you see two human bodies lying in the flattened grass.
Okay. Ah. Okay, we'll look for tracks.
You don't see any signs of a struggle in the area where the corpses are lying. Were they stabbed by a companion? A stranger could hardly have crept up on them with such sparse cover. You look down on a tall, broadly built man. He's wearing dark brown leather armor that is strengthened with iron plates. There's a sword lying next to him. A slender man lies in front of you.
Nothing. Ivrakis.
There are some narrow stab wounds in the man's chest. The cuts are too big to have been made by arrows, but too small for sword wounds.
Huh.
The man has the same incisions. It's clear that both men were killed by the same weapon. But a rucksack that probably belonged to one of the dead. It seems to have been searched and then thrown away carelessly.
Let's search through the
You
rucksack.
find a few implements, some provisions, and a map. A route is drawn on it from Parista, Nudin's capital, to Lot-Yonan's vaults.
Does this mean that Turga the Fair-Faced is in Parista and wanted to send Lot-Yonan a message? And if so, why didn't he use magic? Did he want to contact him without anyone noticing? Why all this secrecy? Nothing again.
You halt. There is something.
Another rucksack?
You open the rucksack and recognize that someone has already rummaged through it. As well as some implements and writing utensils, you find a pouch full of gold and a talisman. The gold is proof that this is not a case of robbery.
Yeah, we're gonna take the stuff. And we'll take the
Warmth and
talisman.
a feeling of security flush through your body as you touch the talisman. You feel safer just holding it in your hand.
I'm taking you with me.
You scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next.
Let's look for further clues real quick. I think I got all the clues that I could get.
You scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next.
Okay, we'll bury the dead.
It's time-consuming and strenuous work digging shallow graves in the ground with a stick and covering the corpses with a few stones. But it should at least keep the crows from their feasting for a while. You continue on your way so as to put a few more miles between you and your grisly find before night falls. You see a flickering light through the trees some way from the path. You walk towards the fire with confident strides until you finally make out 3 broad-shouldered men with axes. 2 rabbits are sizzling over the fire. The men are joking with one another, but you can only understand the odd word. They haven't noticed you yet. Once you reach the edge of the firelight, you say amicably,
Greetings. My name is...
The men jump up and grab their axes.
Who's there?
Well, I'll be. Is that a groundling?
The men look you over suspiciously.
My name is Tungdil. May I know with whom I have the pleasure?
Aw,
Perfect
they're laughing at me.
stranger, a groundling speaking like a king. We are woodcutters. Talk our language, or better still, get lost.
I only wanted to be polite.
Sod your politeness and your pretty words, Groundling, and be off with you.
The man strengthens his grip on the axe and glares at you with sinister yellow eyes.
Sod off, Groundling. Have I made myself clear?
The man comes a step closer.
Put down your weapons or I'll be forced to use mine.
You threatening us, Groundling?
The next morning, visions of axes, faces full of hate, fists and heavy boots flicker through your befuddled mind. Your first attempt to move fails when pain shoots through every bone, every muscle, and every nerve in your body. It's a long time before you manage to sit up and tend to your wounds in the early sunlight. There's no trace of the woodcutters. They must have thrown you into the undergrowth near the campfire once they were finished with you.
Aw.
As the gable end of a small farmhouse and a barn appear from behind a hilltop, you hear the loud cries of children at play. A girl runs along the path laughing. The boy is trying to catch up his sister with a determined look on his face, but is finding it difficult to keep his short legs under control on the uneven path. The boy trips and falls to the ground with a bump. Before the girl can reach him to help, he picks himself up and grabs the stick to continue the chase. In doing so, he catches a glimpse of you and his eyes grow wide. All he manages to say is, "There," as he points towards you with a chubby little finger. Now the girl has turned to face you too. Before you can say a word, she lifts her little brother up into her arms and runs screaming towards the farmhouse. Without rushing, you follow the children to the farmhouse into which they've disappeared. After a few moments, they reappear, accompanied by their parents. Their father is a thick-set man with grey hair.
I am Opatia. This is my wife, Remsa.
The blonde woman nods a greeting almost imperceptibly.
I like how it says the blonde woman, but she actually has brown hair.
She looks you over with an anxious expression.
It's a pleasure to meet
She doesn't really have blonde
My name
hair.
Is Tundle.
You try to make your voice sound as harmless as possible.
Like,
Over the last few days, have you seen two travelers heading east?
Opatia looks at his wife, but she shakes her head.
Why do you ask?
I found them. Two dead bodies on the side of the road. A good day's march east from here.
Dead bodies?
She hastily covers her son's ears.
Was it orcs?
Remsa, what would orcs be doing up here? It was probably just bandits.
I'm sorry if I scared your wife and children.
The man waves dismissively.
No. It's just that my fair woman is especially jumpy these days.
The orcs have been spotted near Calmstead. You should take it more seriously.
The farmer's wife clutches her daughter even tighter before the girl finally protests. The boy steps forward excitedly and cuts the air with his stick.
If strangers come, we're supposed to run away, but I can hit them too.
Opatia pats his son on the head, laughing.
We're safe. The orcs have no reason to come so far north.
Wouldn't it be better to move to one of the bigger villages if there are orcs around?
The farm is our livelihood. We can't just leave the place. The fields don't look after themselves.
It's
King Timothy's
possible.
cavalry will take care of the orcs. All Lord Yonan and his magi.
But the cavalry can't be everywhere at once. Even a handful of orcs would be enough to finish us.
Once the seeds are planted, I'll build the hideaway, just as you wish. But what use is a hideaway if we've nothing to eat in the autumn?
Yeah. I wonder.
If there are orcs in the area, then you shouldn't waste any time. Build that hideaway.
The dwarf is right. Remser gives you a thankful smile before turning to her husband.
We'll take care of the other problems when we come to them. The most important thing is that we're safe.
Opatia stays silent for a moment, a gloomy expression on his face, before shrugging his shoulders.
All right then. Dwarves do know best when it comes to orcs.
You bid farewell and set off on your way. The children follow you for a while, before saying their goodbyes in laughter and running back towards the farm. You look down on a large village on the banks of the Warder. Some of the village is built on stilts in the river. A wooden bridge spans the fast-flowing water. A huge wooden palisade has been erected to protect the village from attack. The guards on the palisade are watching you. Their armor looks well cared for and well made. The smith who made them knew what he was doing. You conclude the double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid than the fixed parts of the palisade. Security has been forgone here for practical reasons. Never a good idea when building fortifications. The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid.
What brings you to fair Goodwater? And have you seen any orcs on your travels, Groundling?
The man leaning over the palisade eyes you up and down carefully.
Goodwater is well known for its hospitality.
A fact that you've just made up yourself.
Let me in, and I will tell other travellers all about it.
I regret to inform you that we cannot allow you to enter. The gates stayed closed once night has fallen.
There is certainly no regret showing in the man's face. The orc heads on the spears look fresh, a fact that causes you unease for more than one reason.
Those won't scare orcs away.
I hope not. The more orc heads that end up on those spears, the more gold coins that end up in our pockets. Right, boys? Yeah! That's right! Yeah! We've killed our fair share of orcs and know how to motivate them. Those ugly mugs will spur them on, and then they'll perish in front of our gates.
Two things become clear to you. Firstly, that the mercenaries the villagers have hired are excellent at killing orcs, and secondly, that they sadly have no brains at all.
When did you kill these orcs?
Yesterday. We caught a couple of their scouts first. The others tried to take revenge in the evening. Let's see who'll turn up today.
I'm a blacksmith. And a dwarf. Let me tell you, your gate might look solid, but it won't withstand a real orc assault.
The murmuring all around him makes the man pause for a moment. If anyone else had criticized the stronghold, they'd have been laughed down and shooed away. But no one understands defense systems like the dwarves.
A dwarf blacksmith who just happens to be standing in front of our gate?
That's right. I can see to it that orcs crack open their skulls on your gate, just like at home on the High Pass. Skulls that add up to hard cash for you.
You only know about the secondling stronghold from books, but you can see in the man's face you've pushed the right buttons.
All right then. You can spend the night in the village. You begin work tomorrow morning, and it had better work like you promised.
Of course. It's a trifle.
Nice.
After a meal, you spend the night in the comfort and shelter of the Goodwater Tavern. The next morning, you feel fully refreshed. You strengthen the gate with cross braces of wood and iron, using your experience and skill. Now it should be able to withstand an attack for much longer. Mercenaries and villagers alike watch you work, clearly impressed. As you finish, a man approaches you.
Well done, dwarf. We were right to bring you into our village.
The village grew rich through bridge tolls, and this wealth must be defended.
I've spent almost half an orbit strengthening the gate. How about a bit of compensation?
The council member's face darkens.
We've paid for food and lodgings, and because we're generous, we've also thrown in the bridge toll. Good day, Mr. Dwarf.
An uneasy feeling has been your constant companion since you left Goodwater. Every little sound in the forest makes you fear you've been As night begins to fall, you take over the abandoned camp as your own. Whoever slept here before clearly left again without any problems. You see that as a good omen and lie down to sleep. You dream of orcs who creep up on you in the night, and even imagine you can smell the rancid fat of their armor. The stench gets stronger and makes you gag. You force your eyes open and look straight into the face of an orc who is holding a knife to your throat. Before you fully realize the hopelessness of your situation, you feel the blade cutting through your jugular. The last thing you see is a group of orcs baring their teeth coming towards you. Then everything turns black.
I've been defeated? Wait, you can... What? Apparently you can be defeated in this game.
An uneasy feeling has been your constant companion since you left Goodwater. Every little sound in the... As night begins to fall, you pass a large... You take over the abandoned camp. However, some hours later, you jolt and look straight into the face.
I wonder if no matter what option you choose, you're still gonna die. Because an orc killed me. That's how.
An uneasy feeling has been your constant companion. As night begins, you swing yourself up the trunk and then pull up your baggage after you. You're prepared to sleep in a tree like a bird if it means escaping the orc's attentions. You sling your rope twice around your stomach and the trunk of the tree to stop you. You see North Pass and smell the fresh, icy wind that sweeps over the peaks of Great Blade and Dragon's Tongue. But the harmony is you smell the disgusting green blood of the orcs and taste the rancid fat of their armor on your tongue. The bitter taste becomes stronger until it's unbearable and wrenches you. You open your eyes and are surprised at the brightness as a glance at the sky confirms that it's still night. Your eyes move towards the ground.
Oh.
I am Sinthras of Son Balsur. My master, Nod On the Doublefold, ruler of the perished land, has elected you, the lords of Taboribor, to be the sword that conquers the south.
You mean you want us to put our necks on the line and be killed by some magus?
Lord Yonan and the others will be taken care of. Your task is to create a diversion in the south until my master's plan succeeds.
I don't know that game.
And which of us is the leader?
The one that conquers the most land.
So Kragnar will be the new Grand Lord.
He glares at Ushnots and Bashkug.
The Kragnar short tribe will conquer the most land. Never! We will overwhelm the cities of the Red Bloods quicker
Oh, okay.
than suck the marrow from a bone.
We shall see.
You can't believe what you're hearing. If the beasts of Tion ride into battle together, catastrophic cycles lie ahead for Girdlegard. The night in the oak tree was the worst of your life. You spent every single moment afraid that you'd be found.
Better safe than sorry.
Your eyes scan the deserted camp, and you listen carefully for any noise. But you don't see or hear anything suspicious. You're overcome by the urge to vomit. You have, of course, heard the stories, but seeing with your own eyes that orcs actually do eat humans is a long way from just reading about it.
This is the place. I knew it was here. Come on then, find it. Hey, Fuskar! A grounding. Perfect for a spotted breakfast.
Oh.
You know that you're no warrior, but you want to face the orcs as a child.
Oink, oink, little piggies!
Oh! Another dwarf.
By Barrowin's beard! How did you manage to lose your weapon? Go and get it, and this time, hold it tight! Yeah! Huh? What is it? He hardly put up a fight!
Huh? I'll be ready soon!
Yes? I can't do that yet.
I didn't hit you very hard! Don't rush me!
Uh-huh.
Yeah! What is it? What is it?
Huh?
Yeah! And what now? Yes, yes, so! I'm not quick. He hardly put up a fight.
Understood. On my way.
I didn't hit you very hard!
For Brackus!
Huh?
Yes?
What is it?
Yes? All right. Huh? Too easy.
Bowen, give me a hand.
I'll be ready
He
soon.
hardly put up a fight.
Yes?
Huh?
Yes?
Uh-huh.
And what now?
What is it?
Who's next?
Pow! Another one bites the dust.
At once. Please wait a moment. I can't do that yet.
Huh?
Huh?
Yes?
What is it?
Yes?
Who's next?
On my way. Don't rush me. Huh?
Yes? Huh? On my
Of
way.
course. I'm with you. Yeah. What now? Yes, yes,
easy.
soon. I'm not that quick.
Yeah.
Yes? I'll be ready soon. Don't rush me.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the posture check, Rusty. Oh crap. Give me 1 second.
Understood.
What is it?
How are you doing, Rusty?
Kill.
Thanks for the hydrate. And the stretch. Okay, there's one more orc that needs to die.
What is it?
On my way.
Understood.
On my way.
Understood.
And what now?
How are you doing, Rusty?
What is it?
Creature.
Oink oink!
That's all? No more orcs?
Well fought, young friend. Do you happen to be tongued ill?
Well fought? But he fought like a...
Boindale, what do you expect? He grew up amongst the humans.
Who are you, and how do you know my name?
My name is Boindale Hookhand, of the clan of the Swinging Axes. This is my brother, Boindale Doubleblade. We've been sent to find you.
Call me Ironheart. Are there any more piggy snouts around here?
You turned up at just the right moment.
Nothing wrong with
Are you
shoulders.
sure it's me you're looking for?
The High King Gundrabor sent us to fetch you and bring you to Ogre's Death in the Secondling realm in the south.
So he received the letter from my master. And am I a secondling?
Well, something like that, I guess.
Then my family was found and the High King wants to bring me back to my clan.
No, you're not a secondling. You're a fourthling. And you're to...
The High King will tell you all about that once we get to Ogre's Death. We should get going.
There was a meeting last night. The Elfar serve a certain Nod On who calls himself Lord of the Perish Land. They have enlisted 3 orc hordes to cause unrest in the south.
Did you hear that, Boindale? Piggy snouts!
The Elfar from San Balzur and the Orcs from Taboribor are working together?
And could ally with the orcs from the Perish Land.
The twins look at you solemnly. You all know what that would mean for the people of Girdlegard.
We've got to...
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. But it's our duty to get you to the Ogre's Death Fortress in one piece.
I thought the duty of dwarves was to protect the innocent in Girdlegard.
Lot Yonan and King Brawron will take care of the orcs. We 3 must be careful. You're not exactly a warrior.
But he has broad shoulders and broad hands. There's hope for him yet. So when you've got the chance to split a few orc skulls, you should take it.
I would be happy to follow you into the realm of the secondlings. In truth, there is nothing I would rather do. But first, I must travel to Blacksaddle and return some things to a former famulus of Lot Yonan.
Blacksaddle isn't exactly on our way.
It's on my way. We can head south as soon as I've carried out Lot Yonan's orders.
Well, he's certainly got the stubbornness of a dwarf. Perhaps we'll be able to make a real dwarf of him on the way.
I'll have to send Lot Yonan a message by carrier pigeon on the way. And if we happen to stumble upon a couple of orcs...
I like you, but we'll have to find you another name. Bolafar. It's about as good as Lipsmith, Paddletosh, or Blufflegrump. It is stupid, senseless, and definitely not a name of honor. What are you good at?
I'm good at reading.
Reading? You're a scholar?
Oh? I unlocked an achievement. Okay. Back to my travels.
There are dead orcs lying in the defensive trenches and strewn over the meadows in front of the city. Some of the locals are busy throwing the bodies on pyres, while others repair the minor damage done to the city wall. You enter the city and the garrison at its centre without being spoken to. It is only when you reach a heavy oak door that leads, you assume, to the commanding officer's headquarters, that you are halted by a guard.
Dwarves, eh?
Seems we aren't to be spared anything these days. What do you want?
It looks like you've got an orc problem.
Had. Our scouts detected the army early on, and we were able to repel them without any great losses. A small army of orcs like that couldn't breach our mighty walls.
Your mighty walls look like they're about to collapse under their own weight!
The soldier isn't intimidated by Boindil. He juts his chin out confidently.
At least they stopped the orcs, unlike your dwarven walls in the north. Huh.
I must speak with your commander.
Commander Valor doesn't have time. He's still very busy dealing with the aftermath of the orc attack.
Commander Valor is dealing with the orc problem, and I have important information concerning it. I witnessed a meeting of the orc lords.
The guard eyes you with interest and tries to judge whether you can be trusted. Finally, he stands up, opens a door, and enters the room ahead of you. The commander looks up from his work. The guard repeats what you told him.
Your information about the orcs could be useful. We have fought them back but not yet defeated them. Come in.
The commander listens attentively, and now and then asks questions as you tell him about the 3 orc armies and the meeting of the chieftains with the Alcinthoras.
This sounds very grave. I will send out messengers. We must be prepared.
The orc army that attacked you was able to escape?
What was left of it? They headed south. Unfortunately, I can't send anyone after them until the damage to the wall is repaired.
The commander looks at you with a disgruntled expression. It suddenly seems clear to him who he has standing in front of him.
If you're interested, you could try and wipe out the mob that got away and collect the bounty.
Killing pig noses and getting paid for it? Where's the head?
You grin at Boindil and then turn back to the commander.
We'll see what we can do. We must press on. Farewell, Commander Valor.
Kill as many orcs as you can, dwarves. Palandir will be with you.
You see a camp with a wagon and 2 people on the edge of the path. Behind them, Black Saddle towers up above a thick, dark forest, about a half a day's journey away. Two horses are standing near the covered wagon, grazing. You can make out the shapes of boxes and barrels on the wagon. The 2 humans are wearing smart clothes and are sitting next to a large campfire. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. You don't want to give them a shock, so you address them while you're still a distance away.
Hello, friends. Is there any space by your fire?
The 2 traders look up and visibly jump when they see you 3 dwarves.
Ah, hello. Yes, of course.
It doesn't escape your attention that you seem to be causing the traders some uneasiness, but you take up their offer and sit down. The twins follow your example.
We're only travelers. We're looking for someone who's said to live on Black Saddle. A hermit.
Someone
I'll be right back. James is calling me.
The traders exchange amazed looks.
If they live here, they must be mad. Normally we wouldn't stop and rest here, but the horses are too exhausted. Our departure from Parista was delayed, and we must have driven them too hard.
I didn't want to go over that far.
Oh, thank you for the chair, Mom.
Alright, I'm gonna sit on you. Oh yeah, man. This is great.
Alright, later.
Okay, later. Take care.
I might disappear as well since I'm getting ready to wind down for the evening.
Okay.
You two have fun though.
Alright. Wait a second. Knight Rider? Mom. Did you get arrested in this? Remember if you did have a seatbelt on? I don't know. I don't don't think so, because they don't really have any way of telling whether or not you have your seatbelt on. So this server is oh shit.
Mom, for one, I think I just killed somebody. For
And
two,
12169.
Dad, Mom killed somebody and ran over him.
Ah! Stop. Hang on, I'm trying to find... I'm trying to find the call sign.
No. You did.
The words never came out of my mouth, stating.
Nope, I don't want to hear it. You called me dumb.
Nope.
You did too.
I did not.
Did too.
Not.
Did too.
Did not.
Two.
Not.
Two.
Not. Not for Pete's sake. Mom.
Mom.
I did not call you dumb.
I did not call you dumb.
I called my mom a smart aleck.
My name's not Alex. I do have video evidence.
I didn't call you dumb. Okay, how did I say there was Mom?
Ooh! Someone killed Ariana.
So, Eric, you're dead.
Hold up. Okay then.
Is Shonda didn't always reach out first. Oh my god, that was actually kind of cool. I want that clipped. I want that clipped. I think it would be most likely to back off, draw your weapon, warn them to stop. If they continue, shoot, and then call 911. What warrants the use of your firearm? A trigger. What must you do when confronted by the police? Ignore that it's there. Shoot them? No, tell them you have a firearm and a permit. Dude, the questions on this test. With this license, what guns are legal? Pistols.
It's when you click it backwards, the thing it sends a thing to thing and the thing popped up to click it back. That's funny.
Okay. Oh, hi. Oh. Thanks for the hydrate. Okay. Normally we wouldn't stop and rest here, but the horses are too exhausted.
Why does Blacksaddle make you feel uneasy? It doesn't look particularly inviting, but it's only a mountain.
Only a mountain? You don't know the legend?
The trader looks at you and the twins for affirmation, but you all shake your heads.
Blacksucker
Thank
was
you.
once known as Cloud Piercer, and it towered up into the heavens, the upper slopes of pure gold and the summit covered in snow. The humans wanted to attain this wealth, but the smooth slopes and the dazzling summit made the climb impossible. They called on the dwarves to help them. They were able to tunnel up through Cloud Piercer to the top. They hollowed it out and carried away the gold. The humans demanded that the treasure be shared, but the dwarves refused, and as they argued, the mountain began to tremble. There were too many holes inside for it to hold together. It collapsed and buried both greedy parties underneath it. The mountain lost its tremendous size and its beauty, and ever since has haunted both humans and dwarves with its erosive hatred, causing even the rocks to turn black over time.
Pfft. Never heard of it. Sounds like human tittle-tattle. Dwarves would never hollow out a mountain so much that it collapses.
You come from Parista. How are things there?
No news to speak of, I'd say. Well, except for Nudin the Knowledge Lusty.
You know Nudin the Knowledge Lusty. Lot Yonan introduced him to you many years ago during a visit.
What about him?
Oh, nothing really. Just rumors.
You nod at the trader to continue.
He's behaving strangely and disappears into his tower for days on end.
And he looks ill, apparently. Well, that's what someone I know said. Perhaps he got a spell wrong.
Later in the night, after eating together and some friendly conversation by the campfire, you all decide to sleep. But you take the first watch. It's a night in which nothing happens, and the next morning the traders set off early. After breakfast, you also continue on your journey. After a march through the thick pine forest, Black Saddle, the sinister tabletop mountain, and your journey's destination rises up before you.
Are you sure that the Famulus lives here?
Yes, according to Lot Yonan.
Although you try to put a lot of assurance into your voice, you too see no signs that anyone lives here.
No castle, no tunnel, no camp. There's nothing here but mountain.
Then we'll have to take a closer look.
You do that, scholar. We'll be waiting for you here.
You think about objecting, but it would just be a waste of breath.
Found anything? A hidden camp? A secret doorway? Gold?
No, not yet. Even the dark evergreen forest seems to be afraid of the Black Mountain.
Yeah?
An old tree. Looks like it could fall down at any moment. There we go. I should be able to get up here. Oh, phew. I hope this is all worth it.
I feel like I should save it.
Definitely a rock face.
Ow.
I should have a look around here first before I climb down again.
There's something engraved on it.
You realize with surprise that they are runes in the Dwarven language.
Built with the blood of our enemies, be unyielding as the rock, and soak the land in their blood. Huh? Hello? Master Garen? Lot Yonan sent me to bring some items back to you. My inquiries are almost at an end. That means I can finally go to be with my sunshine. I have never been to Greenglade, but I think I will like it there. I deposited my most valuable things in the grave of Horengarth before my departure and secured it with magic. The password is...
You recognize the following words as rune names, but they're written in the learned language, so you don't know which they are.
Greenglade. Oh, great.
So, Scholar, what are the results of your inquiries?
There's an abandoned fortress in the mountain, and I think it belonged to the Thirdlings.
Boindale's eyes narrow.
The blasted dwarf killers!
A Thirdling fortress? Here? In the middle of Girdlegard? We must let High King Gundrabur know about this.
The fortress has been long abandoned by the looks of it. Anyway, I can't go to Ogre's death until I've completed my quest. Goren is in Greenglade.
Huh.
The High King? Why do you want to bring me to him?
All right then. It's about the choice of the new High King. Gandagar, the King of the Fourthlings, is with his entourage in Ogre's death and is supposed to ascend the throne.
But our acting High King Gundrabur wants to prevent that from happening. He fears that Gandagar wishes to instigate a war against the elves.
Yeah. Ghost is not around the couch.
A Thirdling
What?
fortress? Here, in the heart of Girdlegard. That's...
Alicia, how dare you call ghost names?
And worrying. But they've always been wily. They move in the shadows and kill there too if they can. Do you know their story?
I've read about it. Lorenberg, their progenitor, rejected the name that Vrakas gave him, who in turn did not give him any special talent, so his kingdom studied war.
It helps them defending the East, but it also meant they ended up confronting the other kingdoms. No dwarf would ever even think of injuring one of his kind.
What?
Never mind killing them. But the dwarf killers are proud of it. When they were even more powerful, they wanted to become the rulers of all dwarves. They are envious of our skills. They haven't been heard of for a long time, but you can be sure there isn't a single dwarf alive who doesn't hate them.
But what have I got to do with that?
Boindale is about to say something, but is silenced by a nudge in the side from his brother.
High King Gundrabur will explain everything when the time comes.
Distrustfully from one twin to the other. Boindale has donned an innocent expression, and Boendal doesn't give you the impression that he has anything else to say on the matter.
What does this King Gandagar have against the elves?
Dwarves and elves just don't get along. Braccus and Satalia made us that way.
I know that, but going to war for just that, after all this time?
Well, there must be more behind it. They say that the King of the Fourthlings is full of hatred and is a hothead in this matter.
Whatever, your High King must wait. I have a quest to carry out in Greenglade.
But our quest is...
Boindale raises a placatory hand and throws his rucksack onto his back in preparation.
Let it be, dear brother. Look at him. He has made his decision, and you will not be able to change his stubborn dwarven mind.
You can't help but smile.
Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to... there.
Your feet have once again... By the evening campfire, Boindale rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
Ah, there's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindale holds the stinky cheese at the end of the
Hey,
stick
Lulu.
under your nose.
How are you?
Eat and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too. Traces of the
Same,
attack
I'm
on
tired.
Stapleton can still be seen. But the repair... While taking a rest, you see a cart trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple. The sight reminds you of a long, unanswered question.
So, I was wondering, what do female
So what are you
dwarves
up
look
to?
like?
Pretty. Very pretty.
Uh-huh.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very attractive.
And what do they do? I mean, are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows in the valleys, make sure the larders are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our club.
It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle.
Some of them are talented stonemasons.
What's for
and
breakfast?
smiths, and beware.
You know, I never had a raspberry peanut butter sandwich.
The closer you get to Parista, the livelier the streets become. Many of the large buildings in the city are even taller than the high city wall. But one building towers above them all, the palace. Its dome gleams white in the sun. It is the seat of the Council of Magi, and its central tower, which juts high in... You reach the Council's palace, but are stopped in front of its gates by a guard.
The Council of Magi is convened to take care of the perished land. They must...
The perished land? You mean the barrier? Is there something wrong with it?
The guard shrugs his shoulders.
Won't be anything the Council can't sort out.
The hamlet of Sungird certainly lives up to its name. You arrive as there's a shop in the village, and through the window...
Yeah, right?
A small bell rings as you enter the shop. The twins look around. You stroll towards the bookshelf and read some of the titles written on the spines of the books. You know many of the works from Lot Yonan's library.
Oh, by Fracas, look, dear brother! The scholar really is looking at books!
It's an interesting selection, Boindle. I could make some recommendations for you.
Boindle Boindle is walking next to you in silence. Now and then, he looks at you from the side.
And you really do like books?
Yeah, I'm curious. And you could find many answers in books.
Won't you have found all the answers at some point?
Yeah, no,
The more books
Missouri
you read, the more
Reaper
questions you
redeemed
ask.
channel points that, I have one that's called Pick a Game for me. It's actually picking the next game I'll stream. And so, he chose this game.
You approach the village and can tell even from far off that something isn't right. The smell of burnt wood and death is in the air.
If I don't have the game, if it's not free, I will let them know that I don't have the game and give them the option to either have me refund their points or have them pick a game that I do have. Or that's free.
By Vracus.
The piggies have really shown those pointy ears.
Yeah.
They couldn't have done it any better.
Stay alert. I want to find out what happened to Garen.
Honestly, it's pretty simple.
Hoof prints.
Hellfire?
The fire in Boindale's eyes flares up with delight.
Huzzah! That would make a change from those stupid peggies. Did you hear that, brother? We might get to test our blades on Tion's pointy ears.
Yeah, we're gonna get over here and look at the
Green
dead.
Glade was one of the few places in You have read about the elves and their buildings. This here had always just been a small example of their architectural skill, which achieved perfection in Alandur. Now burning and ruined, the pavilion makes an even sadder impression. The smell of the smoke has accompanied you for a while now, but here, so close to the bodies, it is masked by the sweet smell of death. You have a bitter taste in your mouth and have to pull yourself together to avoid vomiting in disgust.
Huh. Hey, Rainbow! I'll have to look into that one. I'm good. How are you? Right?
The hand that painted this picture was that of a master. It is composed exclusively in shades of red, but every single little detail.
Guys, make sure
is
y'all toss Rainbow
painstakingly
Unicorn
and
Sparkles a
precisely
follow for
reflected.
me.
Trees, the remains of buildings, bodies.
Just take one last look.
You hesitate.
Oh.
Sent from a mourner.
This picture portrays
Anna
the
probably
village in
couldn't
its
handle
state
taking
of
it
ruin.
inside.
Examining the
Oh, you're
canvas more
welcome.
closely, you realize that it is actually made of skin. And the red
Ugh.
paint seems more than
Steel
suspicious now.
Min?
It's made of skin?
Oh, steel mu- Okay.
This
Oh,
is
okay.
the most disgusting thing I have ever seen.
I can't.
I threw the painting into the
I'm
fire.
just kidding.